This week, the hotel inspectors called to a riverside inn that's in deep water.
We've put everything into this, and if we don't make a success of it, then we're going to lose what we've worked all those years for.
The owners are losing money.
This year, we've literally had no wages.
And on the brink of breaking up.
I just couldn't work with him. He goes on and on and on and on.
Can Alex Polizzi save the Lenchford Inn?
Spending money is never the bloody problem. It's making it that's difficult.
Or has she bitten off more than she can chew? The Lenchford Inn near Worcester. Home to Dave, wife Marie, Marie's brother Ian and his wife Wendy. 2 years ago, after an idyllic double wedding in the Med, the two happy couples decided to pool their money, quit their jobs in Sheffield and live the dream of running a country pub together. And when they saw the Lenchford Inn, they were smitten.
We fell in love with the setting, the style of the place. It's oldie worldy. That's why we bought the pub.
As soon as we drove around the corner, we spotted the potential in the place. With all the boats, we really thought this wouldn't be a business which should take off for us.
Well, when we came to view it, it was a lovely sunny day and everybody was sat out on the balcony. I just love the place.
The beauty of it, and it's just such a lovely area, so peaceful.
So, despite having no previous experience in the hospitality industry, former roofer Ian,
On a Sunday, it's a carvery.
payroll clerk Marie,
Have you seen my stress balls?
retail manager Wendy,
Be glad when these are done, John.
Yes?
and taxi driver Dave
Good afternoon, Lenchford.
all became proprietors of the Lenchford Inn. The four good friends paid out £275,000 of their hard-earned cash for the business. It has 9 rooms to let, a bar, a function room and a large restaurant. But although the Lenchford Inn has a healthy annual turnover of £500,000, it's failed to make them a single penny profit.
This year, we've literally had no wages.
Everyone that's working here earns more money than what we earn.
The two couples are working night and day for nothing.
I do get depressed sometimes, get run down, and when it is our 2 days off a week, I'm sorry.
Their only hope is award-winning hotelier Alex Polizzi. Born into the 40 hotel dynasty, Alex is one of the most respected figures in the hotel industry. Now, the owners of the struggling Lenchford Inn are counting on her advice to help them turn their fortunes around.
We've put everything into this, haven't we? And if we don't make a success of it, then we're going to lose what we've worked all those years for.
We don't know what we're doing wrong. We really don't know what we're doing wrong.
Hi, I'm Alex Polizzi.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Very nice to meet you.
You as well. This is my wife, Marie.
Hi, Marie.
This is my brother-in-law, Ian.
Ian, lovely to meet you. Thank you.
And my sister-in-law, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy. I'm Alex.
Nice to meet you.
Would you like to come through?
I would love to. Thank you very much.
Here you go, Alex. This is your room.
Alex will investigate every angle of the business to find out just why it's failing to make money.
That's lovely. Thank you very much.
The Lenchford's rooms are priced between £60 and £90 per night. All have ensuite bathrooms and riverside views.
First impressions are the bed covers look absolutely immaculate clean, which I love. It's a perfectly decent room, and for £60 a night, it's a really good deal. And it's rather nice. I have a terrace and a view of the river. It's lovely. Nothing horrible as far as the eye can see, so that's a good start, isn't it?
But how will the bathroom measure up?
This is a perfectly reasonable bathroom. Not my favourite colour, but a perfectly clean shower curtain. All looking good.
The rooms are frequently occupied. So the hotel's troubles must lie elsewhere. Next stop, the function room.
It's not often that I'm speechless, but all I can imagine is that this is the place someone has the happiest day of their life. It all happens here.
But while the decor may not be to Alex's taste, she can't fault the figures. The Lenchford Inn does a brisk trade in weddings, helped no doubt by its stunning location. But when Alex enters the Lenchford's restaurant, the first problem becomes immediately obvious. Although the adjoining bar is busy, the large restaurant is utterly deserted.
It's a bit depressing. Look at the pages of menu. There must be so much wastage, I just can't imagine. A pub ought to serve 10 or 12 things really well. There shouldn't be any attempt at extravagance, which this smacks of, I tell you.
The Lenchford Inn near Worcester. Its owners, husband and wife team Dave and Marie, together with Marie's brother Ian and his wife Wendy, have gambled everything they have on the hotel, and it isn't paying off.
We don't know what we're doing wrong. We really don't know what we're doing wrong.
Despite an annual turnover of £500,000, the Lenchford Inn makes zero profit.
This year, we've literally had no wages.
They're counting on award-winning hotelier turned hotel inspector Alex Polizzi to help turn the business around. So far, she's discovered an empty restaurant that's failing to pay its way.
Look at the pages of menu. There must be so much wastage, I just can't imagine.
But there's more to the Lenchford Inn's troubles than immediately meets the eye. The stress of running the struggling business for absolutely no financial reward has begun to drive a wedge between the once great friends.
Before we came down here, we were very good friends. We used to go out socialising to pubs, things like that.
We never had a crossword, not a raised voice or nothing. And within weeks of being working together, living together, the pressures of decisions, how we want to run things, how the partners want to run things, it caused us rows and rows and rows.
We try to bring our professionalism through, and often we find that the other couple aren't as professional. We love them to bits, but it's very difficult trying to get where you want to be.
When Alex examines the hotel's books, she discovers how unhappy Marie is with her sister-in-law's handling of the weddings.
I don't know much about it, but I know that they pay a £250 deposit, and then I think it's 6 months later, then they send another further £500. The wedding's next week, and all we've had is £250. Wendy's not looked in the file and followed, and we've got about 8 more like that. She's not following things up.
Money coming in is what it's all
If we'd have got
about.
all those £500, we wouldn't have had to have an overdraft. If Wendy's not there, then Dave deals with the wedding side.
And does he do it the same way as Wendy? Does he have the same information? You know,
Without being disrespectful to Wendy, he does it better.
So just how are the family managing to function as business partners?
if there is something big to decide, how does it happen?
If we feel it's important to discuss it as a four, we do sit down in a meeting and discuss it. Quite often, I disagree with Ian. Quite often, I disagree with Marie. However, if it's 2-2, i.e. me and Wendy like something and the other two don't, neither party will budge, so we toss a coin.
I'm not entirely sure that that's in the book of good business practice.
Alex has discovered a hotel in chaos. Its large restaurant is failing, and the stress of running the Riverside Inn is driving the disillusioned owners apart.
I'd be more happier here if it was just mine and Dave's business.
But that's not being disrespectful to the other couple, and I feel sure that they'd feel the same, because Ian sometimes has to come to myself or to Marie, can we do this, can I do that? And when you're your own boss, you shouldn't have to do that, but that's how it is being in a partnership.
With the business on the rocks, Alex must take action. Fast.
The 4 owners, both mentally and physically, they need rejuvenation. This place has so much potential. It's yearning for energy and vision. I want to see them be proud of their business. The fact that they're losing money is something that I can stop immediately. And all I need to do is convince them that I'm right about the route I'm going to take, and I think we'll see an enormous change.
Alex's plan revolves around the hotel's large restaurant that currently delivers neither customers nor profit.
I am hoping that I'm going to cut down the menu dramatically, control the costs, make them aware of the fact that there's no point of them selling food very, very cheaply unless they make a profit on it. Otherwise, they're running around busting their balls for nothing.
But before she can tackle the failing restaurant, she needs to tackle the failing owners. Unless she can get the 2 couples working as a happy and effective team, the Lenchford Inn hasn't a hope. First, she wants to find out what the staff make of the way the hotel is run.
I am asking each member of staff to fill out a completely anonymous questionnaire because I've heard what the owners think and I want to hear what the staff think. Monsieur? Thank you.
The results make interesting reading.
Marie never answers a question, always says, ask Dave.
I knew they'd say that.
Dave. He makes comments to staff that make the other managers look incompetent. Ian, in the same way as Marie says, ask Dave, apparently you say, ask Wendy. Do you get mixed messages from your managers? Yes. All of them said yes. There's no continuity, boundaries change daily for different staff, different views on how they want the pub to be run. I think that's something that we can address very quickly.
To see for herself just how well the 2 couples work together, Alex tries an experiment.
I have a small task for you. Here I have something to assemble and a toolbox. I want to see how you all work together and I'm going to see how long it takes you. Go!
Doesn't look too hard, but then again.
The task looks simple enough, to build a children's slide from a standard flat pack.
If it were laid down flat, we could do that, you see.
No rush.
Oh, they just totally ignore me.
The bottom one wrong again.
20 minutes.
That's too short and that's too long and there's one in between.
Ian, have you got a long one in your hand?
They're the screw edge, so I think the screw edge should be at this side, Sim.
But with no clear leader, building the slide is far harder than it should be. A problem echoed in their management of the Lenchford.
It's too many cooks spoiled broth.
Come on, guys. Come on, slaves.
Yeah. Folded it up.
Oops.
It takes 4 of them 1 hour to assemble the simple structure, but despite them making a meal of it, the task has a surprisingly positive outcome.
You really laughed and you were nice to each other while you're doing it. Things like this are very stressful and you seem to manage not to get ratty with each other, which, believe you me, is a virtue in itself.
I found it fun.
Yeah?
It was nice, yeah, because we all, when I got fed up with Ian, I went, root with Dave.
Entertaining.
Entertaining.
And frustrating.
I thought it was an easy job made hard.
Bye.
Ourselves, we didn't stop and think really, we just got into it.
My advice is we need to remember why you got into this all together in the first place, which is that you love and you trust each other and you had a great time together. And somehow we've got to cling on to that and build on that.
We got there in the end.
The simple challenge has proved how important it is for the owners to have clear roles. Roles Alex is keen to assign.
Most important points. You all have your roles to fulfil, so.
Wendy will be in charge of the wedding business, but must be much more organised with the paperwork. Ian will be head of all staffing matters and the maintenance of the building. Dave will be responsible for all the stock and supplies that the Lenchford Inn requires. Former payroll clerk Marie must dedicate herself full-time to the crucial job of monitoring and analysing the hotel's finances.
I'm having to do extra reports now, like with the meals and everything. I sometimes think that they understand what I'm doing, and then other times I think they don't. You know, like Ian's been up twice today. Oh, Marie, can you go downstairs? Are you doing anything? Now, I'm sat here, so obviously I'm doing something, you know, so sometimes I feel I'm appreciated, other times I don't.
Appreciation aside, the couples appear to be following Alex's plan. Next on her hit list, the failing restaurant. Despite having 4 bosses, Chef Stuart has largely been left to his own devices and has let his imagination run riot.
I've got a goat's cheese, spinach and ricotta lasagna, a chicken Dijonnaise, a breast of chicken on a bed of sauté as well, with a creamy Dijonnaise sauce.
With dozens of meals on offer, Alex suspects that Stuart is overstretching his abilities and his budget.
Stuart, am I welcome in your kitchen?
You're welcome, yeah.
Stuart, I'm going to throw down the gauntlet to you because after talking to the gang upstairs, they tell me that the rooms are doing all right, and the bit that they really need to concentrate on, the bit that's a problem at the moment, is the restaurant. You have a huge menu, so I would like you tomorrow for lunch to prepare 6 dishes off your enormous menu. Now, it's so huge, I can't believe that everything can come out of here and arrive in there the way it's supposed to. So I would like you to prepare for me at least 1 meat dish, 1 fish dish, a pasta, a bar dish.
Vegetarian.
That's the idea. Tomorrow I'm going to be a food critic as well as being the hotel inspector.
Next day, Chef Stuart is feeling confident.
No, I don't mind at all, actually, no. I don't, you know, I love cooking and it's for me a challenge, I like challenges.
But the proof of the pudding, of course, is in the eating.
Oh my goodness, it's all coming at once.
Spinach, ricotta and goat's cheese lasagna, mushroom stroganoff, salmon and king prawn in a chilli sauce, and a chicken Dijonnaise.
And that is?
That is the pork.
Right.
The large menu could mean less quality and, even more importantly, more waste, an expense the struggling business can't afford.
It's a huge portion. It's a bit chewy. That's definitely microwave heated and it is pretty disgusting. Lasagna, I think. That gets the complete thumbs down from me. I don't think you should mess with classic dishes, especially not if you're not going to do them particularly well. Lasagna of the day. What is wrong with a normal lasagna? I'm not going to eat that.
So what's Alex's verdict?
Pork's fantastic. I would then have gone for the chicken. From this evidence, you're a good chef. But I have to say that I loathed beyond speech the mushroom stroganoff and this lasagna. I think that you are trying to do too many things and please too many people. You have got this fucking huge menu. I mean, you know, you're doing all of these, plus all the bar snacks. You know, why are you making your life so difficult?
We don't seem to have that many problems.
But the lack of customers clearly is a problem, which Alex believes can be fixed by simplifying the oversized menu and reducing the waste. But despite the non-existent profits, owners Ian and Wendy want to do more. They're keen to fully refurbish the whole restaurant.
We just can't get the bums on the seats. What we was hoping for was painting, decorating, and maybe break it down into smaller parts.
I don't think it's a problem that it's all open plan. I wouldn't rush to enclose everything too much. I like your chairs, I like your tables. I don't have a problem with anything in here, and I think with very few changes, it could be an extremely welcoming, lovely room.
Keen to convince the Lenchford Four that it's the food rather than the decor that's a problem, Alex sits them down as a group.
I ate about 6 dishes at lunch today. And I thought 3 of them were okay, and 3 of them were completely shit. And I told him so.
I think there's too much on menu. I always have thought that.
I've told him also his portions are enormous.
We've told him.
Said that.
You know.
People have got into the habit now where they're asking for bags to take the meat home.
That restaurant feels like the morgue, and I think that that's because people somehow aren't encouraged to spill out into there and just have their sandwich.
The point with the restaurant, why we don't encourage people in there, is simply because we go to the trouble of providing tablecloths and the cost, obviously, to have them cleaned. And if they're just sitting there having a baguette, then we have to change the cloths and the profit margin goes down even more.
Well, why don't you take the cloths off? This is a miserable situation. All 4 are so clueless and so depressed that I can see little hope. But unless they can claw back some of the enthusiasm that made them buy the Lenchford in the first place, I honestly think they could sink without a trace.
If the Lenchford Inn is ever going to be a success, Alex needs to get the 2 couples to start looking at the bigger picture. And she's got a unique way of getting her point across.
Just hold that for me, please. Hold that for me, please. Hold that for me, please. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I would like you to throw that into the fire. That is about 1.5 grand's worth. And that is what you're losing in a bad week.
It's a ridiculous amount of money. It's money that we should be having, we should be earning. We work hard enough for it, so we should have it.
I'm absolutely gobsmacked. Absolutely gobsmacked. Spoilt my day there.
We want that money in our back pocket. We don't want it in the fire.
So this is what not keeping an eye on your portions, on your costings, and on what works does. I hope if we all focus together, that is going to become a thing of the past. Just so you don't feel completely sick to your stomachs, I would like to reassure you that that wasn't actually real tenors that we were throwing on the fire. It was a symbolic burning of what we're losing.
The Riverside Lenchford Inn was supposed to be a dream business for its owners, Wendy and Ian and Dave and Marie. But instead, it's become a curse. Having sunk all their assets into the 9-bedroom hotel, pub and restaurant, it's failed to make them a single penny.
Everyone that's working here earns more money than what we earn.
And it's begun to drive a wedge between the once great friends.
The other couple aren't as professional. We love them to bits, but it's very difficult trying to get where you want to be.
Their only hope lies with Hotel Inspector Alex Polizzi, who's uncovered an overambitious and wasteful chef and a chaotic management structure. It's 2 weeks since Alex left the Lenchford 4 with new, more clearly defined roles. She's convinced Marie must concentrate full-time on doing the books to track every penny that's wasted. But Marie has failed to act on her advice.
Because we've no staff, I still have to do front of house as well. So it's not changed for me, really.
And unsurprisingly, the strain of doing both jobs is beginning to take its toll.
I'd give my right arm to sell the business and get out. I'm not... It's not the life I enjoy. It's hard being in partnership with people because you've got different ideas to them. I would sell the business tomorrow if we could get a buyer.
Marie is fundamental to Alex's plans. As the designated bookkeeper, she's the one person capable of identifying where all the money's wasted and controlling how every penny is spent. If the Lenchford Inn's ever going to succeed, Alex must convince all the individual owners just how important Marie's role in the office is.
If she could just do her job upstairs, which is a full-time job in itself, then she'd be a lot happier.
So she couldn't just do that?
From my point of view, she could, but we would have problems from the other couple, I believe, that I don't think they'd be happy at that.
Dave's convinced Ian and Wendy won't support the decision to let Marie work full-time on the books. So Alex has no choice but to confront them.
Every single bill needs to be justified. And I think that this is a full-time job. Now, I've just said this to Dave, and he suggested to me that you and Ian would resist that very strongly.
No, I would not resist that. I understand at the moment where Marie is in the office. Ian does not understand what Marie does. He wants to know where the money's going. He's not interested in looking at the paperwork.
I'm very worried that Marie's going to bail, that she really doesn't like it anymore and that she can't take it. Right. And unless we make it workable with her, then you've got a big problem because, as I understand it, you guys don't have the money to buy out Dave and Marie.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you don't want to be bought out.
No.
So, this is about a coexistence that we need to make work. So far, and I'm sure you're going to think this unfair, but both Dave and Wendy have suggested that you might be the stumbling block to this. How do you feel about it?
I ain't got a problem with it. I really haven't got a problem with it. If she's focusing on what she's got to focus on. But if Marie doesn't do that role or do it right, then it'd be a waste.
But Alex can prove Marie's work in the office is anything but a waste of time. The information contained in her accounts is a real hotel heartbreaker.
This bottom line is where you succeed or fail.
A profitable restaurant should aim to spend 30% on staff and 30% on food, leaving a 40% profit. But the Lenchford's figures are nowhere near.
Your food costs was 50% of your sales. Your staff costs were 40% of your sales.
That leaves the Lenchford with just a 10% profit, not even enough to cover their expenses.
If you had done 30% food cost, 30% staff cost, and you'd made 40% profit, that would have translated to 65 grand.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
It's all there in black and white. By not letting Marie concentrate on the books, last year the couples missed out on a huge potential profit.
It'd be nice to have that sort of money coming in, because then we'd be able to staff things up much better.
And feel like you're paying yourselves and doing things properly and having fun with it again.
Yeah.
I think that what Marie does up there is central to what's happening here because it's only with her help that you are going to make the tweaks necessary to make this profitable.
Okay.
Yeah?
At long last, Alex's message about the money seems to be getting through.
I've been telling you all this time, I've been doing these figures and sometimes people's been thinking I'm wasting time in office, but I'm just glad that everybody realises that now and we can act on it now.
I don't think it's a case of we think you're skiving or anything like that.
No, I didn't say skiving.
We keep saying to you, you know, we know your job's as important as anybody else's.
I didn't say skiving, but I know that Ian likes me to be downstairs behind bar. So I think, oh, I better run downstairs.
But you shouldn't feel like that.
No.
And we keep telling you should not feel like that. So you need to, like, take that on board and, like, think, I'm not sat up here doing nothing. I am busy. And nobody thinks any different of you, Marie.
A new day and a reinvigorated Marie has been using her bookkeeping skills to good effect. She's given Alex a breakdown of all the meals sold in the restaurant. Now Alex wants Chef Stuart to devise a new pared-down menu based around his greatest hits.
Lynchford burger, yes. Battered cod, yes. Chef's pie of the day. Now, your pie of the day you didn't sell a lot of. 5 in 7 weeks. So, I like the idea of a pie, but I think you ought to do an old-fashioned standard and do it really well, like a steak and ale or a steak and kidney or something like that.
Right.
Your lasagna, over 7 weeks, you sold 29. So let's do a pasta dish, but let's make it lasagna, which people seem to like. And all I'm saying, darling, is give this a go. Anything that hasn't sold, we will be ruthless about, and we will put something else on that you want to try.
Change it, yeah.
Until we work out exactly what's going to work here.
Yeah.
So, with a new, simpler, more cost-effective menu in place, it's time to put the Lenchford Inn's restaurant back on the map. Alex has asked Chef Stuart to prepare 2 taster dishes, and she's taken Dave and Marie and Ian and Wendy to nearby Worcester Market to spread the word.
Here we are in Worcester Market, and we're here for one reason, which is to drum up some support for the Lenchford. Explaining the new menu comes on in a week and trying to get some enthusiasm going for your establishment. Now, come on now, go out and vlog it.
What's that? That's lasagna.
Lasagna.
So, you're going to try a nice bit of steak and kidney pie?
Would you like to try some of the food?
Oh.
Steak and kidney pie or lasagna? Yeah, I'll hold this. You just push that in. That was a big piece of meat. No, take it all. You're all right.
Well, have you tried a steak and kidney pie, girl? How can you sell it if you don't know whether it's good or not?
Is it nice?
That's really nice. Yeah.
And surprise, surprise, the couples are working as a team.
What do you think to that?
It tastes good.
Tastes good?
Nice.
Very nice.
Any vegetarian? Any vegetarian? Chicken lasagna?
How are you guys doing?
Very good.
all right.
We're doing very good.
Very good.
People that tried it saying the food's lovely, which is a bonus.
It's not that bad, is
No, it's easy. You can do this for a living.
You know, people respond
They
to
do.
you talking to them, don't they? And it's, like I said, it's nice to have a product you can be proud of. Now, you've all tried that steak and kidney pie. It's good, isn't
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yes, very
Yes.
nice.
Fantastic.
Very nice.
it? So if we can get every dish on that new menu up to that quality, you've got a winner.
Their confidence boosted by the new menu, the couples are beginning to embrace the responsibilities Alex has assigned them. Wendy's got a firm grip of the wedding business,
Coming down and felt it.
and all 4 of them are communicating more effectively, though some decisions are still settled the old-fashioned way.
Tails.
Go on, Ian.
Tails never fails. Tails this time.
It's a tail.
Alex's team have also arrived and set about brightening up the restaurant. Keen not to splash out on major refurbishments till the Lenchford Inn is profitable again, she's arranged for a simple, cost-effective alteration to revive the dark and dingy decor. But with Wendy and Ian still intent on a complete refit, will Alex's compromise have the desired effect?
Last time I left here, I was feeling pretty positive, but I hear since then there's been rumblings of discontent. I kid you not, there's still time for lynching at the Lenchford.
This is the first time Alex has seen the newly painted restaurant.
What do you think about this?
I don't like it.
Don't you?
No. It's an old worldy pub and you've got beams and you've got floor and it's been painted white from wood.
Right, any other comments?
To me, it looks like it's just come straight out of the box and been put in the centre of quite a tatty-looking room, an old dated room. And
Alex's frustration is mounting.
An
Ian
analysis
simply
on
doesn't
whether
believe it's the
£7.95
finances of the restaurant rather than the decor that the couples should be focusing on.
I have to tell you that I never thought that your problems here were anything to do with decorating that needed doing. We can paint every single inch of this building, but it wouldn't have changed the basic facts that you weren't tracking things. Sunday lunches, for example. Have you done an analysis on whether the £7.95 you charge is a price that makes you a profit? I bet you haven't.
No, we haven't. Not at the moment.
This is much more of a problem than what colour the walls are. Because unless you're making money on people who come in here, all you're doing is spending or is outgoings. Spending money is never the bloody problem. We can all do that. It's making it that's difficult. The problem in this business is focusing on the customer and of making sure that once you get somebody through that door, not only do they have a fantastic experience and tell everybody about it, but you also make the profit that you should, so that you go home at the end of the day with something in your pocket and it feels like it's all been worthwhile.
I'm still not happy about the situation with the restaurant. I understand where she's coming from with to make the money, and it's the food and the atmosphere that gets people in there. But at the same time, as a second or a third time who comes and sits and eats, I personally may enjoy my food, But I'd be sat there looking, thinking, that's a bit tatty now, and I can have a nice meal up the road at the other pub that's got a nice interior, nice food, nice atmosphere.
It's make or break for the Lenchford Inn. Alex must prove to the owners that a successful hotel and restaurant is about much more than just the decor, so she sets them a challenge. The two couples have just 24 hours to fill their restaurant for a special St George's Day lunch. The event will promote the hotel. Its new menu, if successful, will give the four owners a much-needed confidence boost.
I want to see all of you working together. I want to see this place humming.
So it's onto the phones.
It's Dave at Lenchford.
Hello, Mrs. Jukes. It's Marie from the Lenchford. I'm just ringing up to see if you'd like to come out for lunch today.
And out on the streets again to drum up some trade.
If you are passing and you're interested, if you'd just like to pop in, I'll give you one of our brushes. OK. It's a cracking pub, especially when weather's like this. It's gorgeous.
To entice as many customers as possible, St George's Day will be a special half-price lunch.
Hi ladies, how would you like lunch at the Lenchford? Have you ever heard of the Lenchford Inn in Shirley? We're doing a 50% discount on all lunches.
You probably will see us.
OK then, lovely. OK.
The big day arrives, an historic occasion for the nation and for the Lenchford Inn. But will Alex finally witness positive progress at the ailing hotel? After all the arguments, she's hoping to see the owners working in harmony and the kitchen pushed to its limits. More than 40 diners are expected, a crowd unheard of for a midweek lunchtime.
Just waiting for the onslaught.
So, let's make this a success. Let's all work together to try and make sure that your guests have a wonderful time today and that the buzz spreads about how great the Lenchford is.
Brilliant.
OK.
Yeah.
It's St George's Day, and the Lenchford Inn is hosting a special celebratory lunch to promote the hotel and relaunch the previously failing restaurant. Thanks to Hotel Inspector Alex Polizzi, there's a new simple menu based around successful classic dishes. And the hotel's four owners have put aside their differences and are working as a much more effective team. But now they face their first big test. With more than 40 diners arriving all at once, this will be a real baptism of fire.
It's this way. Sorry? Table 11, it's this way.
I've got an order for you. 2 pork and apple baguettes.
Service gets off to a great start. The guests are flooding in.
Are you a fish cake and a pâté by any chance?
Orders are being taken.
Lunchtime, it's really nice to see it busy. It's normally very quiet on a Wednesday.
And so far, everyone's enjoying the new menu.
This has been really very nice, really excellent.
So we get 1 thumbs up from
One
you,
thumbs
sir.
up. One thumbs up.
And another one for me, because it's very good.
How do you think it's going?
It's going very well. We'll see when the food comes out of the kitchen.
We will.
As to how long it's taking for one table.
On table 7's coming now.
But with a busy restaurant comes increased pressure. Pressure that quickly starts to mount.
Just taken an order on table 11 for 6 mushrooms, and now I've just been told we've only got 1.
Let me see what Stuart's got to say.
Why have we only got 1?
They may have a much smaller menu to cope with, but they're not used to having to cook for so many diners.
Check on, chef.
Caroline, can you hold on these checks for like 5 minutes, please?
It's not long before things start to go wrong. Enter table 17, a fishing party hungry after a day on the river. They've arrived at the height of the rush and are kept waiting
What table number are we on?
and waiting.
15 minutes.
Table 17 aren't happy about the wait of the length of time for the food.
What time did we take their order?
We took their order at, look, about 20 minutes ago.
I hear you've been waiting for ages. Is it going all right?
They're not the only guests complaining. Elsewhere, a frozen prawn curry has been sent back, twice.
Did she send it back again?
Yes, it came out. She sent it back because
It was
everybody.
cold.
No, because everybody had finished eating and she didn't want to eat on her own.
It had started so well. Despair for Alex. But when the going gets tough, the Lenchford Four are surprisingly strong.
What table number is it? 10. I'll go and find it. 11's coming now.
And then 2.
And then 2. OK, thank you.
Holding their nerve, the two couples work together,
OK, enjoy
keep
your meal.
smiling, and ride out the storm.
Grill, so it says there.
Despite the odds, they turn things around.
What is it? Which they just really praised us.
It's just been up and said, yeah, full of compliments.
It's going a lot better than I expected. The 4 owners have cheered up and the waitresses are in a good mood and the kitchen's handling things quite well.
But it is nice to see it, it's buzzing.
They'd like the bill.
Right.
It's just coming.
Finally, the Lenchford's customers are all fed.
Service was very good. The starter was good.
I think the waitresses did well.
Oh, wonderful. They're very cheerful, perfect.
The fish was very good.
I have to say, I had the fish and chips as a main course, which I couldn't fault. If you want it to be cooked, then you have to wait. I mean, that's the
Thank
thing.
you for being so understanding.
It's all right.
Good, I'm so pleased.
The food quality is excellent. Definitely come here again.
We'll definitely
and bring some friends.
Really
Oh,
nice.
lovely.
Very enjoyable.
Lovely. Thank you.
And a very nice meal.
I thought Wendy did well. I thought the waitresses did well. No one ran away crying.
In the face of a stiff challenge, Dave and Marie and Ian and Wendy have pulled together. They're tired, but inspired.
You know, well done to you. It was a really tough lunch. I could see that. You and the girls, I mean, goodness gracious me, they really pulled it out the hat. So, are you all going to stick at it? How do you feel at the moment?
Just need to stay positive and focused, and it will be a success.
I want to run a mile. No. We came down as a family and to be successful and we'll make a go at it.
Marie, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling quite positive at the moment.
We'll stick together and we'll fight the cause and hopefully make a success. We're halfway there, we just want to make some money now.
As a farewell gift, Alex hands over a present, hoping to convince the two couples never to call last orders on the Lenchford.
Oh, that's lovely.
Oh, yeah. And remember to ring it on time.
Bye, my dog. Thank you. And I wish you every single success.
The Lenchford Four are looking towards a brighter future. They're more professionally organised, have a closer eye on their finances, but more importantly, they still have their friendship.
Although we were close as a four before the hotel inspector came, I think that we're closer now. It's been a fantastic experience. Let's hope that it's worked for us in the future. I'm sure it will.
Finally, some light at the end of the tunnel. I've seen some individual strengths. They've shown they can work together, and I'm hoping that the revised menu and rota will actually make them some money. They have to stick to the new regime for it to work, though. The question is, do they have the balls for it?